What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Driller, and we are live on StreamYard, where it tends to being live on YouTube. Now, before I get to this National Wrestling Alliance review, where it tends to give you NWA Powerrr results that took place back on March 3rd, 2020. I want to say I apologize for this hiatus and delay, where it tends to giving you National Wrestling Alliance review of this basically pertains to any type of content as well on YouTube, or pertains to my YouTube channel, Natural Born Driller. But I'm here right now to do it, to pick up where I left off, and and basically I also talked a little bit more about what I did my WWE Elimination Chamber 2020 review and other reviews as well, pertains to wrestling. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So NWA Powerrr obviously was in Atlanta, Georgia, at the GPB studios, and you have your commentators. Obviously, you got Joe Galli and Stu Grayson. I mean, that's I'm sorry, that's Stu Grayson. I meant to say uh, Stu Bennett, Joe Galli, and Stu Bennett as your commentators, and your ring announcer and interviewer. Sometimes Sean Willie will be the interviewer as well, but also it's Dave Marquez. Now let's get right into it, folks. This will be both more of a review and results of it. So we get Sean Mooney, having up the some updates of what pertains to NWA Powerrr, what pertains to two matches, what pertains to the Bouncers versus Electric and James Storm for the NWA Tag Team Championship titles, and he also having up to kick off NWA Powerrr for this NWA Television Championship title match between Ziggy Dice versus the champion, Ricky Starks. So we get the match between Ziggy Dice versus the NWA Television Champion, Ricky Starks. They have a match, which I thought it was decent in a way, but at the same time I couldn't get into it that much because Ziggy Dice, I think he's garbage. I think he's awkward to watch. He reminds me, that vibe of the New Day. Back when the New Day was doing their goofy shits, what tends to everything they were doing. When they started doing their unicorn stick and all that, and basically, especially when it pertains to the Big E vibe, and on top of that with the whole Joey Ryan thing. Not saying he's doing any dick flips or anything, or he's making you touch, want you to touch it, or whatever. But basically, the point is, he's giving me those type of vibes where I can't stand looking at him. I don't want to look at him. I don't want I don't want have anything to do with this guy. And then in the end, Ziggy Dice, he wins the match, and yes, he becomes the new NWA Television Champion, which is bullshit, stupid. I can't believe they took it off of Ricky Starks and gave it to Ziggy Dice. So now Ziggy Dice is going to be doing the whole Lucky 7 match. And I'm not looking forward to it. Fuck this guy. But he immediately goes to David Marquez to be interviewed, being the new champion. But then also Tom Latimer, I should say, he goes to interrupt and tells him to get out here, and like damn right, yeah, that's right, get the step in. And then Latimer screams to Joe Galli to come over here, and then Joe Galli goes there, but he actually hesitated because he was scared. He didn't know what was going on. And then Latimer lets Galli know that Camille is going to talk, even though we already know how she's talk. But with this NWA Powerrr, with this to these type of fans, it's too rich to me, damn it. Oh, we're finally going to see her talk. We're finally get to see her talk. I've seen her talk before. And obviously not NWA, but I've seen her talk before. And to me, but But for these crowds, I guess they never seen her talk before, or never even look up on the internet, pertains to YouTube videos, or whatever, or any other type of videos, either way, to see how she talks. But that was that. Sean Mooney, gives us an update about the NWA events. For example, the press conference between Nick Aldis and Marty Skrull, where they're all about, to stand and defend. Basically pertains to the match for the Crockett Cup. But I'll get to more about that after I just review, folks, because I need to talk about that. So tune in for that one. Nick also talks about his reign of being NWA World Heavyweight Champion, of his second reign, basically. It's now, well, at that time actually, 493 days. Well, it's gonna be more than that now after everything that's been going on. But again, I'll get to that later. We got a commercial segment between the question mark and some guy with him, where tends to looking up, basically talking about Mongolian on Wikipedia page. It was one of the weirdest commercials I've ever seen. I didn't understand it at all. I guess I was supposed to get understanding it at all in a way, but I thought it was awkward and I didn't care for it. We get Dave Marquez interviewing shooter Aaron Stevens, who is the NWA third degree national champion, and the question mark with them. And all I can remember is that the segment was funny, or pertains to what Aaron Stevens said. I don't remember fully of it, but I remember this was a funny, entertaining interview that Aaron Stevens did. Um, and basically, they want championship gold. They want belts. And Aaron Stevens kept saying the words belts because that's the one word that Mr. Man doesn't like. But yeah, but they talk about how they want tag team belts. They want every gold belts in NWA, and basically invites Rock and Roll Express to talk about this and everything, because the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Moore and Robert Gibson, are gonna have a match against Shooter Aaron Stevens and the question mark on the next NWA Powerrr, whenever that's gonna happen. But again, I'll get to more of that later. But then Aaron Stevens says, you guys are. He says something to the effects of Rock and Roll Express that your times are has come and gone. Whatever, it's going to come near. It's going to come to an end, whatever, something like that. And then the crowds were like, "Oh, you're mean," or whatever. And then he's like, "No, I'm not." And Aristotle was like, "Yeah." He says something funny in the way. He's like, get your heads out, you get your minds out of the gutter or something like that." I don't remember how it was, but I remember I was laughing. I was dying laughing. This segment was comedy gold because of Aaron Stevens. Man, he is so funny. But basically, the whole point of it was that Aaron Stevens wants those old timers to lay down for them. That way, they don't have to put them out of miseries, whatever. But Rock Rose Press says, thanks for that offer, but we're not gonna lay down for you guys. We're gonna take you guys head on and everything. So, the Dawsons, they have a match against Caleb Conley and C.W. Anderson, where the winner of this match will get to stay with NWA Powerrr. Basically stay with National Wrestling Alliance, while the losers will have this will be the last chance of for all basically what pertains to earning a contract for NWA Powerrr. Basically for NWA, not the show, the company of National Wrestling Alliance. So the match happens between the Dawsons, Kevin Conley, and C.W. Anderson. Basically, a tornado tag team match. It's easy for me to say. Sorry, folks. But anyways, the Dawsons versus Kevin Conley and C.W. Anderson in the tornado tag team match. It was a good match, by the way, because it was basically to keep in mind and focus on of who's going to lose this match, because the loser of the match is going to be it's going to be gone from NWA. Basically when the contract expires. So in the end, it was Killer Comedy and C.W. Anderson winning the match, and they get to stay while the Dawsons are expecting to be leaving in NWA Powerrr when the contracts are up, and the Cosmos were chanting na 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 hey hey goodbye, something like that, or goodbye Dawsons. I think that's what we're chanting. We get another update from Sean Mooney, keeping us more updates of it, which is to what's gonna happen for with the Crockett Cup, the Crockett Cup 2020 pay-per-view event, and Thunder Rosa, the NWA World Women's Champion, will defend it against the in-ring debut of Camille. But unfortunately, that's not gonna happen, folks. But I'll get to more of that later. But that would have been an awesome match though to see. And I think they wrestled true before in the Indies. I remember seeing a match between Camille versus Kiera Hogan, and that was a good match. But yeah. But anyways, then we get to Joe Galli introducing May Valentine and Sal Reynoso. I don't know if that's how to say his last name, but basically they're out there and talk about their friendship, and she also talks about her vlogs that she does, which is called I can't remember what it's called actually now. But anyways, the point is, she's talking about that and everything, and then she does a live one because Galli was encouraging her to do it with the crowds, and that's what she did with Sal. Also, we get to Joe's boyfriend now, Royce Isaac, coming out, and he threatened to break the arm of basically the other arm of Sal, and May Valentine was screaming at Royce Isaac, saying, "Don't you dare do it, no," and basically everything. He didn't do it, and he lets him go. And then she leaves with her boyfriend, and she's like and is arguing with him and everything. Actually, she leaves with Sal, I meant to say. So yeah, so basically, there's more tensions between Royce Isaac and May Valentine, because Royce Isaac is being the Joe's boyfriend and everything, and we'll see how that turns out. We get the Pope and the Bouncer. Well, the Pope and the Bouncers, excuse me, we interview with Dave Marquez at the interview desk. The Pope says that he got two of the biggest, baddest men, excuse me, in all of professional wrestling, and they are going and they are taking advantage of the opportunity and the change that the Pope is bringing, and it says that they're going to be focusing on their goals of becoming the NWA World Tag Team Champions. So basically, Beer City Bruiser, excuse me, jumps in and says, we all know that it is about one thing, it's money, which is that's what comes down to. That's what comes down to at the end of the day, basically. So, main event time: the Bouncer versus Eli Drake, James Storm for the NWA World Tag Team Championships. And basically, what we're the Bouncers, they're being accompanied by the Pope, and representing the NWA World Tag Team Champions. They're being accompanied by Eddie Kingston. So here we are on this main event where the Bouncers versus Eli Drake and James Storm for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. They are there to, and also what pertains to the Pope being at ringside and Eddie Kingston being at ringside. They're all there to stand and defend. What's up, George? It's been a long time. Thank you for watching. But yeah, so this match happens. Decent tag team match for the NWA, excuse me, World Tag Team Championships in this main event. The Pope and Eddie Kingston having a stare down at one point, but obviously because Eddie Kingston would like to get his eyes off of the Pope. But the match itself was decent. In the end, it was Eli Drake and James Storm retaining, still the NWA World Champions. After the match, Eddie Kingston dares Pope to get in the ring. Pope teases to get in the ring, or for him to leave with the bouncers, and that was it. That was it. And that was it for the show, folks. Before I get to what I gotta talk about, I'm going to first get back to the talk about wrestling and the overall story of the show before I get to everything that transpired here. So talking about wrestling for the NWA Powerrr from March 3rd, 2020. 3 matches. My overall rating for the show, I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. I wasn't into the show that much, folks. But hey, it's a better alternative than any other shows that WWE puts out there, like Raw and SmackDown. Burn. Just saying. But anyways, now, folks, before I end the show, I gotta talk about this whole thing of NWA when it pertains to these events that's supposed to be happening. Like for example, the Crockett Cups, NWA Powerrr, and I'm assuming what pertains to NWA Circle Square, and some other events too that are supposed to happen too. That unfortunately has been canceled because of this whole coronavirus situation. So it's unfortunate that these events won't be happening because of this virus. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Hopefully, of what I heard, what pertains to the Crockett Cup 2020, where they say it was canceled. I hope that wasn't true. Hope it was just postponed. I hope wrong, but I don't know. It's a terrible situation that we're in right now, folks. So that's all I'm gonna say from that. And I wish I could say more of it, but I'm not the right person to talk more about this and everything because I'm not that type of person to be that have that type of voice. I'm not a professional of it, so I'm just giving you my point of view, my stand of it, and the best thing we can do is to hope for the better, hope for the best, and pray that we can get through this. We've been obviously we've been through a lot worse, and this whole thing won't should not be have us living in fear, because the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Okay, so that being said, before I go, just want to say read more here from George. How you holding up during coronavirus? I'm holding up very good, George. Thank you very much. The whole coronavirus thing, yes, I heard about some things that's happened. And it's scary for people, but I'm not one of those people that's scared of the coronavirus. I'm not gonna be living in fear. And neither should everyone else. Everyone should not be taking this seriously. And yes, I guess some people have died from this. I know what people are going through right now. Was represents this whole thing. Um, the best thing we can do is to not let this get the best of us. We've been through a lot worse. And where everything that's been through a lot worse for us. We got through it. We didn't get we did not let it get the best of us. And for those that are still here, that are surviving from this whole disease, we can get through this. And all we have to do is stay strong, stay powerful, and do not let your pride and do not basically not let your pride and your dignity be stripped because of the coronavirus. Also, George says down here about they might bring back the Crockett Cup maybe later in the year. We'll see. I hope so, because there are some matches that I'm also looking forward to seeing. Obviously the Crockett Cup tournament, the NWA Women's Championship title between Camille versus the champion Thunder Rosa. You have Nick Aldis defending his NWA World Championship against Marius Guerrero. So basically, yeah, there's a lot, and who knows what other things that could happen that could happen on there too, you know, because it's a big loss, you know. But I hope everyone's doing all right. I hope everyone's doing okay. Especially to those that don't feel important, especially for those that that don't feel important. At the end of the day, those people that don't feel important, they are important at the end of the day. Because if you didn't feel important, then you would not be here right now. And George, I hope you're feeling okay too. Hope you hold up too this whole coronavirus. So that's all I gotta say from that. So yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. For It's Natural Born Driller here, saying peace on the streets. For this was your um, NWA Powerrr results from March 3rd, 2020. We're into this National Wrestling Alliance review. Until next time, folks. We're gonna do this National Wrestling Alliance review. You know, because unfortunately, because of the whole current coronavirus situation, it's gonna be postponed for everything that's gonna happen, and everything's gonna be on hold. So who knows? Who knows? But y'all stay well, stay safe, stay protected. We're into this whole coronavirus situation. Stay in peace, and you all take care. I'm out. Ta ta for now. Peace, George.